Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church in Columbia, South Carolina, where we're part of the ELCA. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. The raising of Lazarus was an incredible miracle, but the way the gospel writer John tells it, it was this event that brought the priests together to begin conspiring to put Jesus to death. One way to put it, life for Lazarus means death for Jesus. Let's look at the verses right after the Lazarus story ends. Many of the Jews, therefore, who had come with Mary and had seen what Jesus did, believed in him. But some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. So the chief priests and the Pharisees called a meeting of the council and said, "What are we to do? This man is performing many signs. If we let him go on like this, everyone will believe in him, and then the Romans will come and destroy both our holy place and our nation." But one of them, Caiaphas, who was high priest that year, said to them, "You know nothing at all. You do not understand that it is better for you to have one man die for the people than to have the whole nation destroyed." He did not say this on his own, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus was about to die for the nation, and not for the nation only, but to gather into one the dispersed children of God. So from that day on, they planned to put him to death. One of the many interesting things in that passage is what Caiaphas, the high priest, says. It is better for you to have one man die for the people than to have the whole nation destroyed. Presumably Caiaphas thought that if the Jesus movement persisted, Rome would come and destroy them. More interestingly, what Caiaphas says is true on a deeper level. It is better to have Jesus die for the people. Caiaphas spoke the words of God even as he opposed what God was doing. This week we are moving through some fairly obscure stories in the Bible, stories that you most likely have seldom or never heard before. And today we want to consider the unusual story of the wise woman of Abel Beth Maachah. Her story is found in 2 Samuel 20, and it highlights the power of wisdom, diplomacy, and decisive leadership. Let me summarize the story for you. There was a man named Sheba who fomented a rebellion against King David. David rather quickly put the rebellion down, but Sheba escaped and fled for his life to the town of Abel Beth Maachah. Most cities in that day had walls around them, and the way to win a battle against a walled city was to surround it and wait them out. Eventually they would run out of food and have to surrender. So, David's military commander, Joab, had been in pursuit of Sheba, and he came to the town of Abel Beth Maachah and laid siege to it. In fact, it says that Joab and his forces were battering the city walls. Finally, it describes that an old woman went up on the city wall and called out to the soldiers outside, asking to speak to Joab. Joab did come and promised to listen to her. She said, "I am one of those who is peaceful and faithful in Israel. In fact, our whole town is. We have long been known as a place people come to settle their differences fairly. Both sides could be heard, and we would be faithful to God's ways and our judgments. Our city is a mother to Israel that way. Why are you seeking to destroy us?" Joab replied that he did not want to destroy them, but that he was after Sheba who had fled there. Joab said, "If you give him up to me, I will withdraw." The woman said, "I'll look into the matter, and when we find him, his head shall be tossed over the wall and land at your feet." And sure enough, that's what they did. They found Sheba, killed him, and threw his head over the wall, and Joab withdrew and left the town in peace. It is better for one man to die for the people. Now, certainly, times in those days were more brutish and violent than we might be comfortable with today. Nevertheless, the woman's decisive action saved her town. It also strikes me how she took hold of their faithfulness to God and expressed it as a source of their integrity in the nation. They were God's people, striving to live faithful lives, and that should count for something. We are trying to be faithful to God, the woman seems to be saying. What she discovered was that God remained faithful to them. It's an odd little story in the depths of the Bible. But one thing is sure. Sheba's death saved that town. Jesus' death saves us all. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.